so it wasn't in focus, or it might have been, but it was on manual focus, so start over. When you're on a street that goes perpendicular to another street, and you see this person that's on this street that you're wanting to turn this way, you see this person coming and you decide maybe 100 feet away from them to turn in front of them and then go 10 miles per hour. No joke, legit happened to me. 10 miles per hour. And I don't care if that's the speed limit. He just rushed to get right in front of me. There was no one behind me. There was no one. It was completely clear behind me. We both turned right on this other street that's 25 miles per hour. You still go 10, 15 miles per hour. No! And why did you have to rush in front of me when you went exactly below speed limit? No sense. No sense. So, driving lessons with me. So around here, the highways, freeways, whatever you call them, they're about 3 to 4 lanes wide. And where you are, maybe it'll be 5 or more or less. Maybe it's 1. Well, 1 doesn't really matter. The only time 1 matters is when you have, you know, those lanes that interrupt. So you have 3 lanes, 1, 2, 3. You enter through this one. So it's kind of logical that this one, you enter and you exit at a slower pace. So when you go speed limit, you use this first lane. Simple enough. Most people understand that. Some people go faster on this lane, which is okay as well. This is not necessarily speed limit zone. Europeans, they might get that a little better. Then you have the middle lane, which you go maybe 5 miles over the speed limit, sometimes even the speed limit. And then you have the one on the furthest most left. That's the speed one, the carpooling one, the express lane, if you can so call it. So you go on that lane when you go faster, when you're trying to get around other people, so on and so forth. Now that I explained the basics, I believe they're all kind of guidelines universally accepted in the US. If the cops and everyone else wouldn't know this, then Atlanta wouldn't have proposed and I think passed the law that stated if someone behind you is speeding up and catching up to you and needs to go faster for whatever reason, if you don't move to the lane over and let them pass you, then you get a ticket. And when you need to pass someone, if this lane is free, you don't need to go use the other lanes, which is, if not illegal, can cause a lot of accidents because everyone is trained to look to the left for someone coming faster than they are going. Let's go into a few other things that might make this not such a pleasant ride for all of us. And possibly the reason why we get into accidents. Rush hour has pretty much a lot of accidents and everyone's kind of going pretty much under 10 miles per hour, so that tells you something. I believe that speed limit is not used to prevent accidents. It's used to prevent death in case of an accident. Because if you go faster than, I think, 70 miles per hour, even if your car is amazing, just the force of the impact can kill you or severely endanger you. Signaling. When you signal, it means that you have the intention to go left or right because you're trying to pass someone or because you're trying to exit whatever. Where she looks, she wants to move to this lane and she has her finger on the signal, but she doesn't signal. She's waiting for I don't know what. So she signals right when she's crossing over. No, the intention of the signal isn't like, I'm Tarzan, I am moving that way. Get out of my way. That's not what signals do. Signals indicate an intention. I've had it happen in front of me when this person, I think they started moving this way before they started signaling by a fraction of a second. They were not that far away from me, which causes a huge potential disaster, not just for us two, but for the people behind me or the people around me in case I swerve because of instinct to avoid you cutting in front of me millimeters away. Or when I brake and the person behind me and the person behind them and the person behind them, we all slam into each other. So signaling is a form of intention of moving in one lane or the other. You signal before your intention, because then it allows people like me that will actually allow you to get in front of me. Mirrors. there's 3 mirrors. Some cool cars now have even 4th or 5th mirror on the screen. Are cameras from around you. I was in a cool car like that. Well, Honda Fit. Honda something. I think a Fit. I thought Fits were like the smaller ones though. And when the person signaled, you actually saw on the monitor all around you who was like behind you. That's amazing. For other people like us, we might not have that luxury, but we all have mirrors. This one, personally, I like to look probably every few seconds, let's say every minute, maybe even 2 minutes, even tops 5 minutes. Look in that mirror. It tells you if someone behind you wants to go faster, wants you to get out of the way. What if a deer cuts in front of you? What if the person in front of you brakes to a halt? If you don't look in your mirror, that's supposed to help you to analyze, oh, how fast can I brake because of the person behind me? That mirror is amazing at telling you someone's behind you and wants you to get out of the way kindly. They don't want you to speed up. They don't want you to go over the speed limit. They don't want you to do anything but get out of their way and let them go whatever speed they want. Honestly, it's their right. You're in the wrong right now. If you don't look in those mirrors that are there, and they're there not only, what do you use that mirror? If you are driving and never look in that mirror, what do you use that mirror? What do you use it for? Backing up in your driveway? That's why some mirrors fade at night. They're there for a reason. I don't know. I had an amazing instructor, and by instructor I mean a family friend. I remember him telling me about the mirrors, and I have used them ever since, and I always use them. And sometimes, yes, we're not perfect. Even I get distracted. Drive however we want to drive. There's plenty of room in the US. We have no excuse to say that there's no room. We have 3 lanes. 2 lanes, at least 2 lanes. Oh, when you have 2 lanes, here's a good tip. You use this right lane to go, whatever speed, and then when you come across someone who is going much slower, you go around them, and then you go back on that lane. Don't occupy all the lanes. Do not occupy all the lanes. Why do you need 4 lanes or 3 lanes of cars just blocking the way for everyone? You don't need to teach me a lesson. Oh gosh. The last one I kind of want to cover, it's a little trickier one, and my mind is I just don't get it. I'm completely baffled. They would speed up to 70, they would speed up pretty fast, and then they would slow down to 60. You speed up 10 miles per hour just to drop back down to 60. Do you realize every time you press that gas pedal, you're wasting so much gas? I don't want to waste that much gas. Besides the fact that it wastes gas, speeding up and slowing down, speeding up and slowing down is like a recipe for disaster. It's recipe for a crash. Maybe this is what people falsely assume when they're going slow and you're riding their tail. They assume that you want them to go faster. No one wants you to go any other speed except to get out of our way, because there's 3 other lanes or 2 other lanes or at least 1 other lane for you to get out of the way. Side note, did you know, I think in Finland or Sweden or Norway, I think Norway or all those, they have like intense driving schools. They have like stunt driving schools that everyone has to take. So you know how to brake, how turning, if it goes out of control because of ice, what turning does, what braking does, like all those little things. I've always wanted that. That was my ideal driving school. So that's why I never went to driving school in the US, because that's far from what that is. Check those mirrors. Always check those mirrors. Do get out of the way when I'm coming behind you, so I don't have to slow down and get off of cruise control and then have to speed up and waste gas. And people who go slow in the left lane also don't use cruise control. So when you're taking the slightest curve, okay, I mean, I'm not even talking like that. I'm talking like that, okay? They slow down. They slow down. It's just horrible. It's horrible. And that's another thing. Don't ever get into someone's way when they're speeding up to you and you just decide to get over in their lane and go the same speed limit you're going in this lane, or much slower. That's rude. That's very dangerous. So dangerous. Not really their fault in that sense. That kind of goes to you. And I forgot what I was going to say, but I think I covered most things. I don't know. My little notes. Peace, love, and compassion. German word of the day. Die Kontuin, no. Verdrehen. I don't even know what that means in English. Verdrehen, contort, like a contortionist. Der Vertrag, Vertrag. No, wait. Is it der Vertrag or Vertrag? Contract. Because it's a V, and I think V's are pronounced F's in German, like Felden. I love Felden. Edit some music, edit this, edit dailies, take a shower. I just washed my car today. There's plenty of rust, like little droplets of rust all over my car. Right now it's a full year old by itself, and I got it when it was like 6 months old. They just don't do them like they used to anymore.